All right, Miss Khalifa.
The story of Nat Turner, our elders tell us, advise us, never began recounting the history of African people unless we began on the continent of Africa.
Okay.
So we know that Nat Turner's mother and his grandmother was first captured on the continent of Africa and brought into Southampton County. They were brought in Southampton County to the auction block. It's at a place called Cross Keys, which would be one of the stops on the Nat Turner Trail tour. But the history of Nat Turner in Southampton County began in 1797 when Nat Turner's mother, Nancy, and his mother, grandmother, her mother, was brought into Southampton County by Benjamin Turner, one of the largest landowners in the county, therefore one of the largest slave owners. This was in 1797. In 1799, Nancy became pregnant. And she hated the pregnancy so much. And that's one of the indications that it was a hated pregnancy. And it's just about assured that she was raped by Benjamin Turner. She hated the pregnancy so much that she tried to abort the baby, and they had to tie her up in order for her to give birth to keep her from killing the baby.
Wow.
But fortunately for us, unfortunately for them, she was unsuccessful in her attempt to abort the baby. So on October the 2nd, 1800, Nat Turner was born. He was born with a veil over his face, and when you're born with a veil over your face, it portends that you're destined to be somebody great in the hands of the Almighty. And that's a quote that's laced throughout the story about Nat Turner as he was uncovering the fact that he was a special human on the planet. He grew with the understanding that he was expected to be a great man. And one of the things Nat Turner recounts, when he was 3 or 4 years old, his mother overheard him telling his playmates something that had happened before he was born. And this lended itself to the fact that he would be a prophet one day, to the thought that he would be a prophet one day, a prophet forecasting things that's to happen in the future. And then other things like learning how to read. According to Nat Turner, he had no recollection about exactly when he learned how to read and write. But he was crying one day and somebody gave him a book to stop him from crying, to play with. And to the astonishment of the grown-ups, he started reading the book. And so word spread in the community about he was a special man with special intelligence. And at an early age, he began to act the role. He started experimenting in making certain objects. This was in his youth. To my understanding, his confessions, he tried to make ink, paper, and gunpowder. There's some of the things that he said he tried to make, and he had no doubt that he could have been successful had he had the right materials. That was the confidence Nat Turner had in his ability. In 1810, up to 1810, Nat Turner did not work in the field with the other captive Africans. He was kept in the house But in 1810, slave master Benjamin Turner died and went to hell. A lot of people don't like me to say he went to hell, but I can't imagine him being any other place than hell, if there's such a place. When a large slave owner dies, there's both dread and jubilation in the slave community. The jubilation is that this cracker is dead now, and he will not be able to visit the brutality on the people anymore. The dread is, and we want to pause right here because we're coming up on the first stop on Nat Turner. We want to go slow, Eben. In the corner back here, legend has it that this is the church that Benjamin Turner built after the colonists defeated the British in the Revolutionary War. After the Revolutionary, yeah, we can pull on down in front of the church so we can see the sign. It was built in 1786, and as we see, this is a Protestant church. We're going to get out here. Because after the up to the Revolutionary War, the only legal church in North America was the Anglican Church. And after they defeated the British, they didn't want to have anything else to do with the Anglican Church.
Gotcha.
So they founded this Protestant church. Now we'll pause here and take some questions. Anybody have them? And that's the corner where it's alleged that he taught. Here, they're in that corner over there. This is what was pointed out to me. I don't know how, you know how legends go. But we know he was not allowed to preach in the church.
So
but
they
he
had him
became
preach
a preacher.
outside?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you allow me to be a preacher, but I can't go in the church building.
No, sir.
Crazy.
No, sir.
Man, it's got a feeling here, man. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm tripping, but I got a feeling when we pulled up here.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what that is, but I feel a certain energy here.
Yes, that's energy.
It's amazing, man.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes,
so this is where it happened with his preaching.
This is where his preaching started. You know, the slave owners, they made sure that their captives went to church. And the indoctrination started at the very beginning.
Let me ask, that's what I wanted to ask you too. I know that in slavery, and you know I come from the Christian side of things, yes, but in slavery they used the Bible and the misinterpretation of the Bible to enforce their rules and also to keep the slaves docile.
Yes.
And I see it ironic that Nat actually used this same Bible, and in reading more scripture, he used that for his decision and to get his vision to actually do the revolt that he did.
Yes. He became an authority on the Bible. You know, he could quote it. He perfected his reading and writing coming out of the Bible, and he quotes scripture. And he received these visions that we're going to bring out some of the visions that he had. You know, he was a visionary.
Hey, for more of The Video Show, log on to thevadioshow.com. And while you're at it, subscribe to our YouTube, @The Video Show.